visas. When one wants to apply, what are the visa options available for the person?
Sure. First of all, again, thank you for having me on. I know there's a lot of misunderstandings about visas and about the U.S. immigration system, and I'm very happy to be here to talk a little bit about how it works and to answer your questions and clear up any misperceptions that there might be. Now, to answer your question, there are a lot of visa categories. In fact, literally, there are more visa categories than there are letters of the alphabet. And a lot of them are named after letters, so you sometimes refer to. But the main ones that most people would be interested in is, first of all, there is just the simple visitor visa. This is the main kind of visa that you need to go visit the United States, visit family, to do business, that kind of thing. It allows you to stay for a limited amount of time. It does not allow you to work or to stay permanently. There's also, of course, the student visa. And this kind of category of visa is very important for us because we are very much encouraging people from other countries to come study in the United States. And in fact, Ghana has a record number of people visiting studying in the United States. In fact, Ghana, this last year, became the second largest source of students in the United States from sub-Saharan Africa. And then there are also other kinds of visas as well. There are visas, for example, some visas allow you to go work in the United States. And then there are also some visas that are what are called immigrant visas, which allow you to go live permanently. So, for example, if you marry an American citizen, you need to get an immigrant visa and then you get a green card.
What if you have a child in the United States of America? You visited a place and something happened, you have a child there.
Well, in America, we have what's called birthright citizenship, which means that if you were born in the United States, you are an American citizen, period.
So let's say the father is not an American. When they had a child there, comes back home, wants to go visit the child, what happens?
Well, that's a different story. They would need the father would if he's not an American citizen or a green card holder, would need a visa.
Okay. Now you said a while ago when I asked my first question that there are more visas described with letters more than the alphabets. Now you've mentioned the student visa. You've mentioned the limited time visa where you can go and visit short term and come back. What are the letters to them?
Well, those are called, what we often call them B1, B2 visas, and you often will hear them referred to that way. And a student visa is often referred to as an F1 visa.
F1 visa for the students, and then B1, B2 are for normal visas where you're going to visit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, having said that, I mean, when it comes to the documentation, which of course is one of the key components one needs to be able to acquire the visa, are the documentations the same or they differ based on the purpose of travel?
It is different based on the purpose of travel, but let me just say that for some categories of visa, including the visitor visa, the documents that you need actually are very few, and in fact, when you go to the interview, there's a myth that you have to have a certain kind of document. In actuality, whether or not you were qualified for the visa will mostly be dependent upon your answers to the questions that the interviewing officer will pose during the interview. It is going to be a short interview, and most likely the officer will not look at your documents because they'll be basing their decision on what you say during the interview. And let me just put in a plug here for something that I hear a lot of times. Applicants ask me, I paid a lot of money or I had to get all these different documents for the visa interview. You don't need them. And in particular, there are some people who prey on visa applicants to try to sell them. They say, you just pay me this money and I'll give you these documents and you'll get the visa. You're getting ripped off. It's not true. Just do the process yourself and answer the questions, and then you'll get the decision.
So you mentioned that the documentations are presented. Sometimes it might not be looked at. So if it's not looked at, why do you ask for the documents anyway?
Well, it depends on the category of visa. For example, for student visas, on the other hand, we do have certain documents that are required from the school where the person has been admitted to. They have to bring proof that they were admitted and such. But in general, and there might be, for example, the document. We do ask for documents just to show for the process. For example, that you've paid for the application. Of course, you have to present a passport. But what I'm referring to are there's a lot of people think, for example, other kinds of documents like bank statements or deeds to your house. Those are the kind of documents I'm saying usually are not required for your visa interview.
I see. So we're having a conversation, this morning about how to acquire, a visa to either go visit somebody in the United States or go study in the United States or go work in the United States. I don't know about your situation or your story.